So you've seen the full spectrum of sort of market entry mechanisms. Do you want to reflect on that and say, how you might want to think about going overseas? When do you look at opportunities, and when do you bet the farm, the choices that are inherent there?
I think we all need to have a sense of pride in what we do. We should not go overseas if we are going to disgrace our image, both corporate image that we represent or the country's image. The good thing about going overseas, either through an acquisition or through yourself, is that it gives you the opportunity to compete in a more competitive marketplace. One may think, why would you want to be in the UK with a car company? To have access to technologies and things that you can actually reversely bring here is a great plus. And if you blur the issue of boundaries, color of skin, culture, and so on, and can merge this into one strong entity, then you've got to assume that over time, good things are going to most likely happen.
In pursuit of systemic excellence, does it curb individual genius somewhere? Because being so big on innovation, you need a spark of genius here and there. So, systemic excellence definitely makes friction-free function, but at the same time it could become too sedate and there's no spark of genius. So how do you manage between this pursuit of excellence and efficiency versus individual genius?
I think innovation has to be the environment that you create around yourself. If I might mention companies, Apple was innovative when Steve Jobs first did it, but the board pushed him out because he was considered a failure and he was fired. And then the company brought him back as CEO when it was almost bankrupt some years later, and he built what today is probably the most valuable company in the world. And what he really did was he did everything different to what the book would say, but he created an environment very autocratically that opened innovativeness.
In a nation like this, where we are busy producing an underdeveloped population, and all that we have is population, nothing else in this country, unless we have an army of dedicated people on the ground who can educate and transform that situation, just trying to do something from the top, either from the government or even from a corporate sector, may not really take shape, because we have been in rural India working there. Today, in all other terms, if you go into the village today, there's electricity, there's a bore well, they have an internet kiosk, everybody has cell phones, but their nourishment value has gone down because they don't have the mentality to use their money to go and buy the necessary foodstuff. So to bring back that culture of nourishment, many ways it can be done. To bring back those vegetables, fruits into people's lives, we have taken steps. Now the next step we are planning is to start fish ponds in every village. Innovative ways of doing this has to happen, because this is a silent disaster which is just progressing and it'll overwhelm the nation at some point.
The worst thing you can do for the country is to give everybody a sense of dependability on an outside force, be it the government, be it a private party, be it a public-private partnership. You have to create sustainability that is self-generated. If we have to create an environment of innovation, maybe that innovation comes not necessarily just in the nutritive thing, but how to create prosperity that is sustainable in a community, to create prosperity in the village. Fisheries or fish ponds or creating livelihood in terms of produce, etc. We're not addressing those issues adequately in the country. And many of them are, as you say, things that can easily be done. And if the nutritive value of what we eat has diminished over time, it's because we have allowed it to diminish and we have not been innovative in terms of addressing this.
Is this beginning to perhaps influence the priorities of the trusts that you chair in any way, moving some of the grant making into some of these newer issues?
As a trust, or as a foundation, we have been helping communities in a variety of ways, or helping individuals in a variety of ways. But we have ignored the fact that what we're doing may not be sustainable. And if we want to take what we're giving to one NGO or one rural group and replicate it in another, you can't pull out, because when you pull out, that NGO collapses, that community collapses, then you've done something wrong.
You built a dependency.
You have created a complacency factor that money flow is going to come, be it from the government, be it from a trust, be it from a company. And the company or the trust has failed in not providing something that makes that community stronger, makes it more productive, gives it a sense of wanting to do something for itself, creates pride in what it stands for. And perhaps we have to change what we are doing to be idea givers rather than money givers.